turn this on, and now people should be able to hear us. Let me go
being able to be heard.
Find this. And then we also transition over, so we're showing the puzzle. Okay, I think we're live. Now let me pull this up on my phone so that I have chat available. Yeah, I don't know if anyone will see this because I didn't announce it anywhere, but cool. Yeah, all right. Looks like that's working. And then how do I share this? Sharing's a good idea. Copy video URL code. Loop. Mom and I are going to solve some Sudoku puzzles. Watch and talk to us. Okay. And put that on both of these and post. Cool. All right. People might see it, they might not. Doesn't matter. All right. Well, while we are seeing if people see this, let's start. So I don't think we had a puzzle from last time. So this one is A Tight Spot by Tundra Lava. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Digits along a line must be numerically between the digits on the attached circles. Cells separated by an X must sum to 10. Cells separated by a V must sum to 5. Okay, so it's just lockout lines, I think, or however that's phrased. We start this to get our accurate times.
Well, I'm already seeing in box 1.
Yeah.
All of those are between, and 5 is going to have to be over there too.
So we've got a 1-9 pair here and a 5 because the lockout lines are going to remove 1 and 9 from these 10s, and the 5's kicked out of the 10s because you can't add 5 and 5 together in the same box.
Right, so the ends of that are 1 and 9.
Yeah. Oh, and that automatically pairs the 1 and 9 across that X. So this is...
Well, and the X in box 2 is going to have to be the same as the X at the bottom of box 1.
Right, let's mark those in green. So this lockout line can't... Well, I guess it could have 1 or 9 on it, or on this end. So you could put 2 or 8 on here somehow. But one of the ends is inward 1.
Yeah. The X in box 3, similar to the X in box 2, but it's going to be the same as the top X in box 1.
Let's actually not do yellow. Let's do blue. Or change this one out for orange. Okay. And now this one down here is going to have to be 1 and 9.
1 and 9.
Because it can't be any of those 3. So now this isn't 1 or 9. How many? There's just 2 digits that have to be in between these two. So they have to be a minimum of 2 apart. They could be more, but...
No, they'd have to be a minimum of 3 apart.
Right. The have to have at least 2 digits in between them. Which makes it like a 3 and a 6, because 4 and 5 are in between those. This line is interesting, because this isn't 1 or 9.
Yep.
3 is the gap, the separation required.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, we've got this V here. Okay, if I make this one, say, green, I'm going to make it red, even though red and orange don't really go nice together. And then we'll make one in nice green. Okay, so what color can this one be? I guess I'm not using yellow, I'm using orange. Well, now I want orange to be yellow. All right, it doesn't matter. I'm going to stop playing with the colors now because these are low digits. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one isn't blue. Neither of them are red. This one isn't yellow or green. So this has to be blue. So that's the blue low. And 8 and 2 come out. Box where?
Box 9, the X on the right-hand side.
Right-hand side.
Yeah, it can't be 3, 7 or 2, 8. If it's 6, 4, it would have to be 6 over 4. Well, that doesn't work because you can't have a 6 and 7 on opposite ends. So that's going to have to be a 1, 9.
Okay. So 1 and 9 come off. And that makes this green.
And there's a 1, 9 X-wing in boxes.
Right.
Yeah, so.
Oh, and the 1, 9 can't be here. So these are 1 and 9. Red, yellow, blue, and green. This one is not green. This one's not yellow. Because the yellow removes both of them from there. It's not that exciting. Not green, yellow, or red. Okay, so now what can these digits be? They can't be 1 or 9, because they both see a 1, 9 thing. This one over here is not 5, 6, or 7. This one's not an 8. And there has to be at least 3 digits in between. So 4 plus 3, and then the highest digit would be 4 and 8, but this one can't be 4 and 8. And you can't go down from there. But you can go 3 and 7. Hmm?
8 can be placed in box 9 because it cannot be on the lockout line that's not inside it.
Yeah.
And it can't be on. Yeah, the bottom one can't be of that can't be an 8 because oh yeah, 2 yeah, no, 2 can't be on the lockout line because there's no 1 or 1 can't be on one of the ends.
Yeah. Because the maximum is an 8, means that you can't put 8 or 9 on there. and that takes 1 and 2 off of here. And then the minimum is a 2, so 1 and 2 can't be on here. So 8 and 9 are off. So this ends up being a 4 and a 6.
And then the 8 would have to be there, and that's
and
a
that
9.
completes this. And what's left over? 3,
2, 3,
5.
and a 5. Well, 2 can't be on the lockout line.
Right. That places a 2 here. So 3 and 5 are definitely on here. This
so
one's
2
not
has
2.
to be on the end.
And 3, 4, and 5. So this has to be a 6 or a 7. And that's a 6, 7 pair here. So we've got 3, 4,
5, and 5.
1 and 9. And
2 can't go on the lockout line.
right.
And it can't
So
go.
the 2 and this 2
Well,
cancel these 2.
Yeah.
So this is 2. Can't put 8 on it either, but I think both of these can be 8. And I guess you couldn't put 7 on the line either, so this ends up being an 8, 7 pair, and this 7 sees that, so this is 8, and this is 7. Because regardless of what this is, you can't put a 7 on here, because it's either a 7, right, which locks that out, or it's a 6,
4, 5
and
is left.
3, 4, 5, and 6. Potentially. Wait, it can't be 3, 4, 5 because of this one. So if this was a 6, that would break this cell. Does that make sense?
No.
3, 4,
Why?
3, 4, 5. Yeah, because these 3, if this ends up being a 6, then these would have to all be 3, 4, and 5.
Right, and that's, yeah, I see.
7,
I just
6,
wasn't
4.
at first.
3, 4, 5, and 6. And then whatever is left over, 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, not 8. This one's not a 7, it's not a 2. And that actually combines with all of those. 1, 2, 7, 9,
8.
And this was blue, so that's a 4, 6. Oh, we know this is a 4 and this is a 1.
8 because of column 5.
Right. Which I should have seen sooner. So this is 2, 8, 9, 1, 9, 1, 3, 7, 3, 7. Not a 3. That makes our 7's yellow. 1's out of there. 2 and 9 are out, so this is a green 1. Not 2 or 3. This can't be red anymore. This is green. Red. Red. 7's blue.
Box 6
red.
has a 3, 5 pair.
Is that now? 4 and 6 are blue. And now this can't be blue. So it's 1, 9.
Yeah,
and
the
now
one beside it can't be blue either.
9, 1, this not blue. Green, this 9's out. This 9's out, so that's a 9. This can't be a 1, 2 pair. But it could be 2 and 9 or 1 and 7, so it's not helpful.
Row 7 has a 3-5 pair. So
This
that's
blue
4, 6,
four
and 8
6
left.
takes the 4 out here. 3 4 5. I don't see a 7 in that row.
And the last one's a 3 or a 5.
Which is going to fix this. Which can still let this be a 7. Oh, this is on the lockout line. That can't be an 8. It's a 5. 8. Because this is 3, 4, 5, and 6. But for all of the rest of the oopsies are locked out. So yellow, red, that's just a 5. I don't see 9 or 2. And those are fixed. 3. Left over in, actually let's just do the top row. I don't see a 2 and no 5.
5.
And then
that lockout line, it's gonna have to be, yeah, because I was gonna say one has to be higher than 7, and neither one can be a 9.
This one's done. That one's done. Okay.
Well, that one's 2, 4, 6, or 8, where the cursor is at the moment.
This one?
Mm-hmm.
It can't be an 8 because of this lockout line. It can't be a 2 because the minimum side of it has to be at least 2 steps away from 8. So that's 7 and 6. Can't be 1 or 3. So the minimum value is a 2. That takes the 2 out. That makes that a 4 or a 6, which is blue. Four 6 pair takes the 4 out. Two, 8, 3, 7. Not a 2, not an 8, not a 3, not a 7.
In column 3, the empty spot is going to be 2, 5, or 8, and it sees both 2 and 8, so it's a 5.
So that's 2, 7, 8, 2. Red.
Oh, wait a minute.
Sevens
Was
are
that 2
yellow.
or 7? And I
Why do I
just
have
totally
alpha?
missed that.
What was 2 or 7?
Well, when you said in the okay, yeah, I totally missed that. When I just saw the 2, 5, and 8 because of the 4, 6.
Now, it
So
can't be
that
a
last one could have
2
been
because of the lockout line. So this is a 7.
okay. So it is 2, 5, and 8 left there. Okay. So that is a 5.
So this is 5, this is 2.
Yeah.
All right, what's left over? 1, 5, 7, 2, 9, 3, 8. This cannot be 4 or 6, so that's an 8. 4, 6 pair makes that a 3. Blue, yellow, red, blue. Makes this a red 8. 3s are yellow. And
Red is resolved in box 1.
2, 8.
4,
3 through
6, or
7.
7.
7, 6, 5, and 3 are all out. So that's a 4, which is blue. So that's going to be 6, 4, 6, 4, 6, 4, 5, 4, 4s are blue, 3s are yellow. 1, 9, 2, 4, and 3. That is a red 8, a 5, a blue 6, and a yellow 7. And can't put a 9 here because the 6 isn't in between. So these two are 1s and these two are 9s. And I didn't finish box 1. So that should be done. Yay! That was a good puzzle. Okay. Now, alright, what happens to the stream when I close out of that? Is that just gonna... Yeah, it's gonna show this puzzle. So this is the YouTube channel where we get our stuff for anyone who sees this later. I'm just gonna go ahead and grab solve that puzzle. The next puzzle in our list. And we can do this puzzle. Alright. Well, my phone is significantly far behind, so I don't know what where that's supposed to be. Oh, if I click the live button, here we go, that's better. Alright, it's showing that we're on this one. So consecutive thermo by Clover. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Digits along thermometers must increase from the bulb end. In addition, digits along thermometers must be consecutive, such as 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Interesting. Well, in this row, since there's no bulbs, we've got 1 in one of those positions. And similar thing here, so 1 has to be in one of those positions, can't be there, and the only spot where it's shared is here. Okay, but something interesting about the way this works is that because they have to be consecutive, if I were to make this like 2, 3, 4, 5, then what could this be? It can't be a 1, because then that would put a 2. The smallest digit I can put here is a 6, but that would make this a 5. So this has to be a 6, 7, 8, 9. So does it have to be one of these two? 2 through 5, 6 through 9. I guess I could put 1 on one of these two. So I could do 1, 2, 3, 4. Which would make the other one, this would be minimum 5. This can't be a 4, so this is minimum 5, 6, 7, 8. And then it could also go up by 1. 6, 7, 8, 9. And this could go up by 1. And then it could be swapped. So 1, 2, 5, 6, 2, 3, 6, 7, 3, 4, 7, 8, and 4, 5, 8, 9. Which means that these two are these two bulbs. Right?
Yes. So neither one of them can be a 1.
That's going to
I
make
guess
this
the
our
1.
2.
Well, if one of them's a 1, it could be in the center. It doesn't have to be those
Right.
two. Just if neither, just if neither one is a 1, then that's the 2 bulbs. And it'll be the same along that one.
Yeah. 1, 2, 5, 6. 2, 3, 6, 7. 3, 4, 7, 8. 4, 5, 8, 9. And then I guess with these 4, they can't be 1s. But if I make this, let's say, a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Or I guess what I'm trying to say is what numbers are guaranteed in here. On the low end, 3 and 4 have to show up. And that's going to be for this group and this group. And on the high side, 7 and 8. So this is 2, 5, 6, and 9. And this is clearly not a 9. And it can't be a 2 either. Because if this is a 2, then this is a 1. And this can't be a 9 because 5 and 6. It also can't be a 2 because of where it is in the thermo. But it can't be a 9 because these two have to be consecutive. So it's going to have to go 5 and 6. So that 5 comes off of there. So then the low end has to be a 1. And this one's not a 6. So that's our options here. Now this has to be a 4. 6 can't be either of these, so neither of these are a 5. These can't be 7s, and these can't be 8s. Go 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, that means that whichever one it is, it's going to have to be 6, 7, 8, 9. Because...
Yep.
Yeah. So this is a 2, which takes 3 and 4 off, and 1 out. And this is 9, so 9, 8, 7, and 6. And then leftovers, I don't see a 3, a 7, or an 8. All right, well, we know that these two aren't the same. So none of these can be 1 or 5. Although I don't know if that's that helpful yet.
Hey, in row 3.
Row 3.
6 or 7 has to appear in one of those first 2 cells. So you can't have 6.
So you're because one of these has to be 6 or 7. You can't have 6 and 7 over here.
Right.
You can have 7, 8, 9, but you can't have 6, 7, 8.
Right.
So that takes 4 off of the beginning. No, it's not just 4.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2. 2 is going to be the smallest that bulb can be.
Because you
2,
can't
3, 4,
have
5.
7,
I know
6,
it could be
5,
a 1
4,
and
3.
have neither one.
I have that correct? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3,
Right.
4, 5, 6, which is fine. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 has a 6,
Is
7.
out.
And 4, 5, 6, 7 is out, but 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 works.
Yeah.
6, 7. Okay.
And in the other set, there's going to have to be the set that goes boxes 8 and 9. 5, 6. Or that one's 5.
Oh,
There's
right here.
5 or a 6. You can't have 5, 6.
Okay. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And it's also going to be 1, 2. So this ends up being 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 because you can't go 1, 2. That would make these both 5 and 6, which doesn't work. So this is 6, or 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. 1, 7, 8, 9. This is an 8. These two aren't 7. These two aren't 9. And this one isn't an 8.
There's only one 8
Oh.
there.
These digits 2, 3, 4, 6, and 1. This one has to be a 9. And this one isn't a 5. So this is
Well,
6,
it can't
8, or
be
9.
5, 6. Yeah. Which places the 5 in the column?
And a 5 in this last one because of these two knocking that out, this 5 knocking that out, and I guess this 5, but it's also an 8, so that's the last spot that's available. And the remaining digits 9, 6, 7, 8, 5, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. Well, that's not a 4, neither of those are a 2, so that is 3 or 4 makes this 3 or 2. Oh, 3, 4 takes 3's out, places a 3. And I don't see 1 or 6 in this row. Yeah, 1, 6, 1, 6. That's a leftover. And
7, 8, 9.
what are the 5 digits left over here? 3, 4, 5, and 6. These two aren't 9. These two aren't 2. Well, that's 1, 7, 8, 9. So the remainder here is what, 3 and 6?
3, 6. Yeah.
So 6, 3 there. 3, 6, 2, 8, 7, and 9. Places a 1. This is 5 or 6. Not ones. It's a 2 and whatever that digit is. Okay. These two. 1, 2, 7, 4, 5, and 6. 8, 9 pair, because that 3 makes that a 3. I guess I kind of want to take a look at this, unless you see something different.
No, that's fine.
I can't have a 1 there, or excuse me, you can't have a 1 here, can't have that there, can't have a 9 here. Now 3, 4, and 5, 3, 4, and 5 means that this isn't a 2 because there's no 3. A 6 goes to a 7, so that's not a 6. And the rest I think is fine. 2, 7, 8. Just short of a quad. Okay.
In box 1, the bulb can't be a 4 because a 4 goes to a 5.
Right.
And those would both have to be 5.
So 5, 6, 4. And I think this has to do the same thing. 3 goes to 4, which breaks. 2 takes out 1, 6 takes out 7, 2, 7, 8 makes this not 8,
9.
so it's 9. That makes this an 8, that a 9, that an 8, that a 7. 8, 7, 2. This 7 is that. 1, 9, 8. 7, 9, 8.
And then it's just Sudoku left.
Yep.
2, 5, and 7.
7, 2, 5.
I would
Yes.
go by rows. 3, 4, and 6.
6, 4, 6, 3. I can click the right things.
1, 2, and 6.
1, 2, 6. Need a 1, 2,
And a
need
3.
3. So that goes like that. I need a 4 and I need a 9. This needs a 1.
And 5.
I also need a 7
4 and 7.
There we go. We can close out that, delete that bookmark, and grab a new one. And I'm actually going to start these playing in the background and grab this one. So now we've got papier mâché. It's probably paper mâché. I don't know if that I is pronounced, but I'm not. You took French a long time ago, right, Mom? Or am I confused?
Yeah.
Does French have these carrots?
I think so. I think that's I think technically it's papier mâché, but we always say paper mâché.
Okay. Anyway, by Perla.
That's been 40 years ago.
Yeah. By Perladell. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Digits joined by a black dot must have a ratio of 1 to 2. If a green cell, RC, has a value V, then cell VC has value R. For example, if in row 3, column 5, there's a 6, then in row 6, column 5, there's a 3. Okay, so if a green cell's row column has value V, then the value column also has the same row value. So green cells map the row into the same column. Okay, that makes sense. So, like, if this is a 6, then in this column, that places the 3 here. Those index each other.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, these wrap around. Although, I guess I was going to say that this couldn't be like 3, 6 here, but I guess those don't necessarily have to not do that. Although, if this was a 3, then in the same column, that would put the 6 here. But then you couldn't do that. That would break. If it's a 6, it just self-references.
Right. And the black Kropke dots.
But this couldn't be a 3 because that would make a 7 here. So that can't be 3 or 6. So this is 1, 2, 3, excuse me, 1, 2, 4, and 8. What were you going to say about the black Kropke dot?
Well, it's like all the green are black Kropke dots.
Yeah. Go ahead, fill those out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8. Okay. If I look at oh, the same stuff that affected this pair is going to affect this pair, I think, because I can't put a 3 here. That would put a 6 here, but it would have to pair with a 6. So that's not allowed. That's not a 3, making this not a 6. And if this is a 6, then that's fine, it self-references, but this puts a 3 here, and that 3 would put a 7 up here, but you can't put a 7 on a black Kropke dot. So that takes the 3 out and the 6 out. I guess both just checking if either could be 3. 3 would put a 6 here and a 6 there, and 3 here would put a 7 there. So that takes them both out.
Well, then the Kropke, that last Kropke dot there in box 6,
Mm-hmm.
that one would have to be 3, 6 because it can't be
Right.
1, 2, 4, 8 because that would have 5 cells with 1, 2, 4, 8.
Yeah. So one of them is going to self-reference. The other is going to put a 6 up here. Now, if this is a 3, it self-references, and that can be a 6, placing a 3 there. If this is a 6, it would place a 3 here, which isn't allowed. So 6 and 3 is out. And the same thing, 6 and 3 there. And this can't be a 6, because it'll place a 3 there, which it can't have. Because that couldn't be 3 or 6. Yeah, none of those could be 3. this can't be an 8. It would put a 9 there. This can't be 6. It would put an 8 here. This can't be a 4. It would put a 6 there, but we know 3 and 6 is here. This can't be 4 either. It would put a 3 here. So again, 3, 6. And this can't be a 4 for the same reason. It would put a 3 here, but 3 and 6 is there. That takes the 8 out there. So this is either 3 self-referencing or a 6, which places a 3, 6, or it's a 1, 2 pair. But it can't be a 1, 2 pair because that would put 3s both in this box. And you can't put a 1, 2 pair over here. So I can take the 1 out of all of those, and the 2 comes out because it doesn't have a partner. 3, 6, 3, 6. And these are not 3, 6. If this is a 1, then that's a 2, but then that's also a 2. So that's not a 1. If this is a 2, it places a 3 there. That's not a 2. But you can put a 1 here, because that'll just put a 3 up top. This can't be a 1, 2 pair, because again, you'd put 6 up here somewhere. So the 1s come out. Oh, and this can't be 1 or 2 now, because the 6 has to be down here. So this ends up being 8, placing a 6 here, and this has to be a 4, placing 7 there. So now 6 is out, 3 is out, 4 and 8. And you can't put 6 or 3 in either of those. Can't be 8, can't be 4. And 2, 4 is going to put 6 like that. So this isn't a 6, and that's not a 3. This can't be a 1, 2 pair, so the 1's out. This could be a 1, 2 pair, because it would just be across the boundary like this. Same with that one, except this can't be a 2. Place a 7 there. Or excuse me, an 8 there. Not allowed. This isn't a 1. Left over in this row. 1, 5, 7, 9. This column, 3, 7, 8, 4, 6. These two aren't 5. a 1 would put an 8 here, and an 8 would self-reference. But that's fine. Ah. But this has to be 1, 2, or 4, 8. So this has to also be 1, 2, or 4, 8. So 1, 2, 4, and 8. But that removes 8 from this cell. Hold on. Can I mark those in purple? So this 8 can't be in there. One, 2, 4, 8, and 6. This one's not a 3. I guess that's really the only thing that it does. Although, where can 8 go in this box? It's not there, and it's not there, and it's not there. And then it can't be in either of those two positions because of this grouping. Because the 8 has to be in those positions according to this down here. So 8 has to be one of these two in this box, so it rules the 8 out down here. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So then the 1, 2 comes out of here. This isn't an 8, and that puts it here. Excuse me, 8. And that's not a 1. This 2 places 8 here. So rolled out of those. And out of there. So then that's not an 8. It's not a 7 either. So this 4 doesn't connect to 2 or 8. Because this couldn't be a 2, it would place a 3 there. Okay, so that's not a 4, it's a 1. Excuse me. This isn't a 4, it's a 2, which self-references. And it places a 3 in one of those two positions, so that's not a 3.
Which in row 8 places the 3 in box 7, so the 3, 6 comes off of the Kropke dot.
Those are a 9, with the 2, 4 here. Where next? Threes are either here, here, or here. Oh, we know that the 3 has to be over here, so this has to be a 4, 8, because of where 3 has to be in this row. So that makes this a 1, placing a 3 here. So then this becomes a 3, 6 pair. So we've got 4s like that. So then one of these has to be a 4, making this either 8 or 9. This isn't a 1. But this can't be a 4. But 2, 4, and 8. 2, 4, 8. Means this is either 6 or 9. And this has to be either 3 or 9. So 5 and 7 come out. I'm not going to do that. And then the remainder, because 2, 4, 8, and 3, 6, and 9. Yeah. Can this be a 2? Well, it can't go to 1 or 4 now, so this has to be our 4. This is our 8. This is a 4. This is a 2, which places the 9. A 4, which places the 6. 3 and 8, 4, 3. 2, 1, not 1. 9, not 9. Not 3 anymore. This one's not a 2. This is 1. This is not 1. That's not 1. This is 6.
Column, yeah. And the 1 places a 7.
7 up there. And 1s, I guess the 1 is just one of those two positions. What's left over in this box? 7, 6, 9, 4, and 8. Apparently this one has to be a 3, because I see 1, 5, and 2. Okay, what's left over in this row? 4, 8, 1, 6, and 3. This one's not a 5. Neither of those is a 2. And I guess these two I should have looked at sooner. 6, 9, 3, 2, 8, 5, and 1. And this one's not a 4, because the 4 in box 8. 7, 5, 9. Takes that out. This is a 2. That's a 7. Not a 2. Not a 7. This is 2 or 9. And this is 4 or something. This one's the 4. 6? Yeah, 6. Okay, all of the green is done, so this is just Sudoku now. I think 8 is missing from this box. That's there. This is 5 or 9, making this is 7. And I think this is a 6. Looks like it. Well, 6 has to be one of those two. Go ahead.
Column 4.
4.
The 4 green places an 8 in box. Yeah.
Did I miss anything else? 4, 8, 1, self-reference, self-reference, 6 places a 3, 6 self-references, 8 places a 6, 4 places a 7, 1 place is a
Yeah, that
7,
was the only one missed.
2 places a 6, 4 places a 6, 8 self-references, 4 places an 8, 2 places an 8, 1 places an 8, 4 places a 9, 2 places a 9. Cool. This row, I think. 3, 3, 6, 9, 8, and 7. 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 4. 1, 5, and 4. Eh. 1, 5, 7, and 9. 1, 5, 7, and 9. So that's a quad. This is a 4. That's a 2. Those aren't. 1, 5, 7, and 9. 8 and 4. 6, 3, 2. Takes the 6 out, places it there. 1, 5, 7, and 9. This one sees most of those.
Uh-oh.
Neither of those is a 7. That's 1, 5, and 9. Something's wrong here. I don't have a 4 in this box. So that has to be a 4. I didn't mess anything else up, so hopefully that was the only problem. 5, 7, 2, 4, 6, 1. Places a 5, 9, 2, 9. 9's out. 7. Is that the thing?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, yeah.
5, it's a 7, that's 9, 3, 9, not a 9. 2 and 1 and 7. 5, 1, 9, 1, 5, 5, 9, 7, 5, 1, if I can press the right buttons. I don't have a 2, which goes.
There's a 2. There's no 3, which goes to the first cell.
First one.
5,
And a 5, and a 8.
8.
Yay! We are speeding through these puzzles. That was done. Grab the next puzzle. If I, pull up another thingy. How does my phone keep ending up behind?
I don't know.
It's weird. Okay, well, if I pull this up, I don't think it's showing my bookmarks and stuff, so that should be good. Alright, presumably this wall would stop a roadrunner. Not sure what that's about. Snout's Wall by Coyote. That makes sense. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Digits do not repeat in cages, and sum to the total shown. All totals shown are in the leftmost cell in the top row of their cages. All cells are in a cage. All cells are in a cage. So we just don't have the cages?
Cages shown.
That's interesting. Probably going to make good use of the line tool. Okay, well, all totals shown are in the leftmost cell in the top row of their cages. So this one has to be a line here. Let me actually make this a different color. Both green. There has to be a line between every number.
Right. Well, and there's got to be one to the left of that 12 in box 4.
Right, because it's the leftmost and the topmost. So every number is also automatically given a top and a left. Now this 11 has to come down, so this line comes down as well.
Well, starting with box 1, the 13 has to go right.
Yeah.
Because it has to be at least 2. The same with the
Yeah.
16.
Right. So then it can't be the 13. So the 13 absorbs all of this. This 12 has to extend.
Well, and the 13 in box has to go down, yeah.
But it could go right, so we don't know whether or not this wall exists or not.
Right.
This 17 has to extend. That 17 has to extend. 11 does. Now it's just the leftmost cell in the top row, so this 11 could go to the left now if it wanted to.
Right. In box 5, the 16 has to go down, but it could go left. In box 7, the 13 has to go right. And the 14 in box 8.
Now it can't go up, because this is the topmost cell.
Right.
And okay, so now the 10, which must go down, finishes off the 14. No sevens.
Oh, box 2, the 17 cannot go down because
Because
that
of
would
the 13.
is 13.
And it can't go up now.
And so that's got to be an 8, 9.
So this 17 must extend.
Right. And box 2, 11, 12, 15, and 17 is 45. So whether that 5 is solo or is a 2 doesn't matter because that 11 has to contain all 3. Because you can't add anything to it. The
Yeah.
12 is contained complete. Everything else is contained complete within that box. So the 11 has to be the 3 cells.
Right. Because none of this can get out of the box. Okay. So then it must be the whole box.
Right. We just don't know if 5 is a single cell or if it's 2 cells.
Right. Well, these 4 are 17. Well, all the
Box
numbers are
3,
going to work out, whether it's box 3.
17, 17 is 34 and 11 is 45.
Okay. So
So,
then the 17 can't escape the box, because if it
right.
did, this whole
It's going to
thing would
have
be
to
too
be
many.
3.
Okay, so then this has to be 4, 6, and 7 then, doesn't it? Because 4,
Yes.
yeah. Because 5, 6, 7 is 18. So you
Right.
have
And
to
you can't
take
use
the
3 because that would be 14, and you can't do 14 because 8 and 9 are both taken.
yeah.
So 1, 2, 3, 5 is left in the.
And we know that this isn't a 5.
Twenty, 29, 39.
34.
And 13, 16, 13, and 3 is 45 in box 1.
This is 45.
Uh-huh.
So because this wall is blocked off, if it extended outside of the box, it would have to be more than 45.
Right.
Well, 20 can't be done in 2, because that's max 8 and 9, which is
Right.
17. So this needs to go down 3. But then it runs into the top of this 7.
Okay. In box 4, 20,
Uh-huh.
7, 12, and 8 is 47. Well, there's no way the 7 can escape, so the 7 is full in there. The 20 can't escape the box.
Yeah. The 12
Neither can
can't
the 12.
either.
So the 8 has to escape the box.
And it has to be a 6, doesn't it? Because you said this was 47. So there's 2 sticking out.
47. Yeah.
So then with just these, that would be 39, which has to be a 6. And then the 8 has to go down, and that has to be a 2 there.
Right.
23 has to go down. 13 can't go up.
Well, let's see. 23, 30, 43, 45. 7, 23, 13, and 2 is 45.
So they can't extend outside of their box. So then the 9 has to be 2 cells. Oh, this 8 is done. So this 16
Right.
is 7, 9. Oh, 2 got out of
8.
there.
Okay, in box 8, 9, 8, 5, and 14 is 36. No. 9,
17.
14, 28. Yeah, 36.
So this is a 9 then?
Yes, because nothing can get into that that box except for that. Well, no, the
The
13 can
13
come
could
down.
come down.
All right, let's see. 13, 22, 25, 35, 38. Box 5, 38, and 7 would be Because the 9 can't go into the 17. The 13 can't go into the 8.
So,
Those two sum to 90.
okay. So then this must be 90 as well.
Yeah.
Because
34,
34,
40.
40, 56, 66, 70, 85, 90. So then
Yeah.
we draw our lines here.
And there's a line between box 5 and 6.
And that is going to put a 9 here and a 7 there.
Yes.
So then is 26, 29, and 9 is 38, and 7 is 45. So 5 and 9. If this 9 is 2 cells, which we know it is,
It
6 and
can't be
3,
1, 2, or
7 and
3. It's got to
2.
be 4, 5.
So then this 5
That's
is
2
not
or
alone.
3.
And then you've got a 1, 7 for the 8.
Okay, then in box 5, the 13 on the bottom is just the 2 cells.
Right, because it can't extend upwards.
Right.
6 and 7 are out, but we don't know about the rest of it. $34 and 8. This 8 is limited to this much space. 34 and 8 is 42. So then these two are a 1-2 pair for 3.
Yeah. And they will both have to go down.
And then this 8 has to extend.
Right. And the 8 that comes down can't be 1, 7. It has to be 2, 6.
2, 6, 1, 5 then. This 5 must now extend downwards as a 1-4 pair, and this places the 4 and the 1. 4 is out, 6 is out. Get rid of that line.
Okay, the 19 is going to have to be 3 cells because you can't do it in 2.
Right. So then that is our wall like that. And
it can't be
3, 7.
Yeah.
That's 2, 8, and 9, so that works.
And the 8
And
can't be on the bottom because of the 6, 8. Yeah.
and the 3, 7, 3. Got 4 there. That's not a 4. And then, well, one of these
17s has to be 8, 9.
Right. 9 and 8 and 4 is out. 1 and 7, 2 and 6. That has to be a 3, 5 pair. Did I do that right? 3, 5, 6, 7. The 1 and the 7 comes out, and there's a 2 in the same box, so the 3 and the 6 comes out. That's 3, 5. 3, 5, 1, and 2. And this can't be 4, 6, or 7. So that must be our 8, 9 pair. and you got a 4, 6, 7 here. So line there, and that closes off. And what's left over in this column? 4, 8, 9, 2, 6, 7, and 3. Well, 1 and 5 is only 6. So.
And you can't do 1, 5, 5. So it's going to have
So
to
then
be
it have to extend farther.
1, 2, 3, 5. Yeah.
8.
And 2, 3. The 3, 5 pair in
2,
column 9.
9, 2, 3. Well, this 7 can't be alone because of the 1, 7 here. So it has to extend downwards. And 2, 9, 1, 7, 6, 5, and 4. Well, clearly it can't be an 8. So that's 3, and this must be 4 because it can't extend here. That's done. 5, 4.
Well, and 23
23.
has to be at least 3 cells.
Right.
And this, what's left in that row, in row 8, is 6 and 9.
Which is 15.
23. 1, 5, 7.
And that should be 13.
And that's 13.
Now this 3 can't be 3 alone, so it ends up being a 1, 2 pair here. And 1 and 1 and 2, 3, 5. This 13 has to have an 8 as the top digit. This 3.
7, 9.
Now 1, 2 pair now.
Box 1, the 16 is 7, 9.
Here, but I just want to see what's left over in the column. 3, 7, 9, 5, 4. And 11 minus 3 is 8. So there's no 1, 7. So this must be 6, 2, 1, 2, and 8. Which pairs with a 5, 9, 8. 4, 9. This may make this 3, 6. Excuse me, 3, 2.
3, 6
3,
pairs
6,
bottom of
8,
the column.
6, 9, 8. 4, 9. And 5 means the 5 can't be alone, so this is a 1, 4. Going like this. And our 12 is 5, 7, like so.
I'm hearing a lot of static, but it doesn't
Right.
seem
Let
to be
me.
coming.
It's for me. My AC just turned on. Okay, that should have fixed it mostly. Although I'll sound a little different. Bit upsetting, but
Yeah, you sound a little odd, but that's better than the.
better than the fan. What's left over this row? 9, 4, 2, 1, 3, 5, 8. And this one's not an 8. That is.
Well, that 20 in box 4 can't be 3, 8, 9. Because there's a 3. Although that doesn't mean anything because there's more options then.
Yeah.
But it just means that 9 can't be on it.
Right.
And there's nowhere to put a 1, 2. to go with an 8 and a 9. So
2, 6, not 6.
okay, where do 1 and 2 go in box 4? They can't go in the 20. They have to go in the 7. So that's going to be a 1, 2, 4 for the 7. Because for the 1 or 2 to go in the 20, it has to extend to a fourth cell. And it's a, well, I suppose it could go up there. Never
Well, it's
mind.
limited to this much space.
Right.
But it is possible for this to be 1, 2, 4. So
2 can't go in column 3. It's already in column 3. 1, 3, 4, 7 is what's left in the column.
and
That can't be 7.
right, because then this would have to extend. And okay, if it was just these two, that would be 6, 4, 3.
And it can't be 6 because it sees it in the column.
Right. So if it was just
And it
these
can't be
two,
3, 4. It can't be 3, 4 because if you look to the right, then you've got 3, 4, 6, 7
in 5
would
cells.
be in 5 cells.
Okay, so
So it's going to
this
have to
is a
be 1, 2,
4
4.
and a 1, 2, like this. And mine's got messed up. That's fine. 12 has to be 2 cells. So this is
7 or
either 9 or
9.
7. And this is 5, 7, 1, 3, and a 9, 7, 5, 3, 6, 3. So then we just gotta finish the 7.
5, 7. 7 over 5.
Bam! Puzzle solved. Under 30 minutes. Really quickly. Alright, last one. Unbelievably good new rules. Equal Sum Arrows by Sumanta Anu. Normal Sudoku rules apply, where arrows point from the same cell. The sum of the digits along the two indicated diagonals from that cell to the edge of the grid is the same. Where arrows point from the same cell, the sum of the digits along the two indicated diagonals from that cell to the edge is the same. So we're saying like from here, this and this is the same.
Right. Now, the more interesting one is the bottom left corner of box 5. Now,
Bottom, yeah. Well,
oh, even more interesting is cell 2, or box 2, rather.
here. And similarly, here. I wish these arrows were a different color. I guess I can take that now. Because, okay, well, these 3 are minimum 6. And you add an extra, and that makes these 7, 8, 9.
Right.
The 1 digit is maximum 3. But the rest of it goes through 5. Because they can be maximum 8. And an extra 1, 9.
Well, yeah, would make it 9.
And there's no reason why these 2 have to be different. I can't think of anything else to do with those.
The green arrow in box 8 passes through that 7, 8, or 9.
Right. Got green and green there.
So that's going to be minimum 10.
Got 2 cells
Yeah.
down here that make that work. This covers this
Right.
blue. But we know that this group and that group are the same. So if I were to redirect this blue here and say that, this is minimum 18. Excuse me, 12. I don't know why I said 18.
Yeah.
And an extra 1. So that's minimum 13. But I guess that's a very small minimum to do across 3 cells.
Right.
Hmm. Okay, this one's more interesting. This corner here, these 2 cover that, and we know that green is the same, so we can actually make this go this way. And we know that this is minimum 10. 13. 14. Right? This is minimum
Right.
14.
Well, it can't be double 7. But never mind. It could be
Minimum.
more than 14.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then this green overlaps with that. This is minimum 14 plus an extra one for 15. And now this is 6, 7, 8, 9. If this was a 7, and you've got a 1, 2 pair here, that's a 3, that's a 1 for 4, and you've got minimum 4 to stay, being 8. And then you just make that a 1. Make 9. If this is a 7, that's 1, 2, 3. But you've already got 1, so
Right.
there's 3 pairs. So that's fine. I don't see a problem with that. Okay. Purple hasn't done anything yet, because it doesn't overlap very much. Well, it overlaps with this blue. And I wish they used more colors in these lines. For arrows.
Yeah, they've got 4 sets of blue arrows.
Okay. Well, this is minimum 10, and we showed that 10 still works.
But okay, if that is a 7, for that to be 10, that would have to be 1 and 2.
Yeah, which 3, 1, and 4 is 8. And then make the extra
Oh, right,
one
'cause
9, and that
yeah.
satisfies this one. So we've got 10 here, which becomes 10 here. So 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So this is 14 minimum. 14, 15. So this is 15 minimum. But it's also 17 maximum. So
Right.
how many degrees of freedom do I have? Okay, that's the angle we need to look at. Because if I minimize this, this is 1 and 1, 2. That's the minimum degrees of freedom. This is 7. this is maximum 17, minimum 15. Because this is minimum 14. 15, 16, 17. Okay, and 14 but its maximum is 16. 14, 15, 16. 2 degrees of freedom. And so from here, my minimum was 10, and I've got 2 degrees of freedom. So 8, 9, 3, 4. And then just to show swirling, purple, we're leaving that alone. Okay, the 2 blues are the same. Red, that is the same. Okay, red and blue are equal. Why'd I... 8, 9, 3, 4, 3, 4. Now I only have 2 degrees of freedom in that. Okay. If this was 6, that would make this a 4. This would have to be a 1 and a 7. But if this is a 7, and this is 1 and 4, then we're saying that this is 7. But this is minimum 6, and this has to be our 1 and 4 because there's 2 degrees of freedom. Because this is 10, if I make this a 4, then it becomes a 12, and this all has to be minimized. Yeah, 7 and 1 and 4 is 12. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and that maximizes that. So 7, 1, 4, this is a 2, this is 6, and that is 8, which breaks that. So this cannot be a 6 and a 1 to make 7. If this is 4, it can be 1, or excuse me, if this is an 8, I can do 1 and 1, 2, 4, making that a 3. And then that could be 1 or 2. Although if it's a 2, again, 3 and 2 is 5, 7 is 12, which is the maximum here. Because this is minimum 5, and 12 is 17. If this was 7 and 1, that's 3. That's 1 or 2. That could be 7 or 8. That's 1 or 2, that's 1 or 2, that's 4. I guess one thing I proved is that this can't be 6 regardless. Because if this is 1, 2, 3, then this is a 4 and a 1 and a 7. Then this can't be 2 or 3 and 6 to be 7. So this isn't 6. So this can't be a 3. So if this is an 8, this is a 1, 7. So could this just be 7? Well, that would put a 3 here, which uses up 1 degree of freedom for certain. And then this becomes 1 or 2, 7 or 8. And that's a 1 or a 2 pair. That has to be 1 or 2 to make 9. 8 or 9. I think that's fine. So far, it's fine. Okay. If this was 8, I could do 5 and a 1, 2 pair, making this 3 or 4. Oh, but if this is a 1, that forces this to use up a degree of freedom. Okay. That's really important. Because if this is a 1, this has to become a 2 at minimum. And I only have 2 degrees of freedom here. So if this is 7, and 1, then that places a 3 here, which uses up 1 degree of freedom. A 1 uses up my other degree of freedom, and this is automatically 17. If this is 8, then that's a 1. That uses up 1 degree of freedom. If this is 5 and a 1, 2 pair, then this has to become a minimum of 3, which uses up my other degree of freedom. And that would have to be a 1, 3. So that's a 7. In both of those instances. Now, if this is a 7 and if this is 8 and it's 1, 3, 4, that's a 1, that's a 2, and that can be a 1. But that becomes a 3, and this becomes a 9, and 9 and 3 is 12, and if that's a 1, then I've used up 3 degrees of freedom. So this cannot be a 1-2 pair. And this be 8. So yeah, I can't use 1, 3, 4. So it'd have to be 1. Okay, I think what I'm getting at is this has to be 17. Because of the way that these interact with this cell. If this is an 8, and this is a 1, that uses up 1 degree of freedom here. That means this is a 7, and it goes 1, 2, 4, and this is a 3, which uses up my other degree of freedom. This can never be 1, 2, 3, so I don't have to do 8 and 2. If this is a 9, and this is a 1, then this is an 8. A degree of freedom is used up here, and if this is 1, 2, 5, this becomes a 3, which is my other degree of freedom. If this is 1, 3, 4, then this is a 2, which doesn't use up a degree of freedom. To keep my degree of freedom, this would have to be a 1. But if this is 1 and 2, then this is a 3, which makes this a 9. And then that's 2 degrees of freedom coming up from 7. And I've already used up a degree of freedom here. So this can't be a 1, 2 pair, and this be a 8. 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. If this is 2 and this is 7, that's a 3. 4. 1 and 2. That's a degree of freedom. That's automatically a 1. It's a 3. This is a 2, that's a 7, and a 1. Alright, it is after 10. How much longer do you want to go on this puzzle? Because it looks like this is like really intricate mathematics.
Yeah. And I know I'm really tired, so
Okay. I think
I
this
think
is a
it's
good
gonna have
spot
to.
to stop. Come back to
Yeah.
this one. Alright. Pause. And close out of that. And move this bookmark to a better spot. And yeah, highly recommend this channel. See this video later. But for now, that would be the end. Thank you for watching. Stop screen.